Yeah, we are live here. It's the dumpster fire. Hold on, let me turn this thing down. Why is it always so loud? Who's editing this show? All right. What a week it's been. And now Brandon's muted. Anyways, we've got TJ Carpenter with us. What's up, TJ? Say hi.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
And we also have Brandon Poorna with us, but he's got his mute on. He's working.
I'm almost done. I'm exporting right now, and then we're gonna have a really good video to talk about, guys.
All right, we will have a really good video to talk about. And unfortunately for the peanut gallery out there, Tree had to work, so it's just us three tonight. Watch the stream just tank. Like all the viewers are like, no Tree. How are we gonna fuck our Spanoses? So disappointed. All right, let's cut this music off. Or at least get it down to a low level. There we go. All right. What's going on, TJ? How you doing tonight?
Pretty shitty. How are you?
I'm all right. There's my ugly face. What's so shitty, man? What is it something we can't talk about?
No. I mean, I don't know. I had to deal with Brandon for a couple hours today.
I could see how that could really bother you. I get it. He's
we were shooting our next episode of What the Sports, and our teleprompter would not work, so that was an issue today.
That's the first world problem if I've ever heard one, right there, buddy.
It really is. And Brandon Poorna knows how to make a bad situation and make it worse.
Oh, you mean he's not fun to work with? He's not like a giant kid, or does he just like try to pick at you when it's not going well?
He is the most high maintenance, unbelievable, just prima donna. Brandon Poorna is.
He looks like one. You know, he kind of looks like the dad from what is it?
Did we finally get Poorna to say something?
Yeah, I said you're not gonna shit on me.
All right.
Easy to work with, goddammit.
Let's see. Separated at birth,
Mike.
Brandon Poorna or Milo
Mike.
Ventimiglia or whatever his name is. I don't know.
Who?
Milo Ventimiglia.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Star of Heroes. Now star of This Is Us.
Look at this. Look. Hey, you actually come up in a Google search now, Brandon. You even have images. Look, is this not the guy from This Is Us? I mean, you let a toaster take you out, dude.
Hey, Brandon, what was it like
Crock-Pot.
dating a Gilmore girl? That's what I want to know.
It was pretty good.
Did she talk too fast for you to understand?
All right.
I'm very in tune with my feminine side, so I think what you just said is kind of sexist, actually, and I can understand any woman what they're saying at any time, all the time.
You are lying.
More girl or golden girl, doesn't matter. I can relate to them all.
Who's hotter, the
Actually,
ugliest Gilmore girl or the hottest Golden girl? Let's see.
Oh, you got to go with the hottest golden girl, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, this one girl kind of has a big forehead right here on the right. She's got like a 8 head going on. All right, this is a sports channel. I don't know. Well, look at this.
Blanche was a Hellcat.
Yeah. All right, we got some topics to cover here. We have the NCAA scandal, which has probably been talked about on sports radio to death, but we're going to talk about it because it affects a lot of things, including the NFL and the NBA. We talk about the NFL Combine, and my favorite part of that is fat guys running. And the NFL's changes regarding catches. There's going to be rule changes, and we'll also take super chats. If you guys want to talk about hockey, super chat me, or really just be persistent about it. And then
talk about the NCAA for like another few minutes while I try to finish.
Wow, TJ, I see. I could imagine you like just slapping Brandon like during this
This
teleprompter incident. Like,
This is my stream now. This is my stream now.
he's just
This
hijacking.
is exactly what it was like filming with him today.
Yeah. Good thing for weed. All right, Rydian Jones says it's snowing. All right, thanks, Rydian, for your sponsorship. Anyways, the NCAA scandal. So this thing is starting to get deep, but you're already seeing the backlash and the denials come in. Like Sean Miller says he's going to be vindicated in his, he's just saying, they always have these slick lawyers coming in and or someone saying, hey, just say that you were talking about securing, granite, $100,000 worth of granite for your backyard. And that's what you were talking about, not illegal payoffs. And it always works. Like, we always just forget about it. I don't know, TJ, what do you think? What do you think is going on with this scandal here?
Well, I would say this. It's very difficult for me to establish who the victim is here. I don't know who's being hurt by this necessarily, other than, here's what's it reminds me so much of like Prohibition era America, where you've got all the people who decided to make this law outlawing alcohol, doing most of the drinking and most of the illegal activity and benefiting from it, while creating essentially organized crime in the process because they made something illegal that everybody wanted. And so the NCAA has basically done the same thing. By not paying athletes from the get-go, they've created a vacuum and a need to pay athletes. And therefore, if they're not going to provide an answer for that need, then something else is. So it created this black market of boosters and other people, and now agents and shoe companies trying to get in there so that they can profit off of not only this sport, but also the athletes as they move on into their professional careers, which is where the FBI got involved, because now all of a sudden you can get into like antitrust and tax evasion because a lot of this stuff isn't being reported. So it gets really, really hairy. But honestly, if the NCAA had just done the right thing and paid athletes from the get-go, then it would never have been a problem. But this is where we are.
So I actually have a video on this. Right as soon as this stream is over, I'm going to upload it. Now that I have this 1 gig internet speed, it only takes like 2 minutes to upload a video. But the NCAA originally was started as just an advisory committee. They'd never envisioned this level of revenue to be created by their sports league. Like, that wasn't their intent. And now, 100 years later, it was founded in 1906. Now it's become an industry. It's not a league. It's a complete industry. And yeah, I think that their rules and their foundations have become too archaic, and they've never been able to adapt because they've been able to deftly avoid any type of repercussion for this type of behavior anyways, right? Like, oh yeah, another scandal, big whoop. We're all going to be glued to the TV in exactly 2 weeks, watching our ticker down there on the bottom right of our screen and wondering whether Gonzaga is going to get beat by freaking Coppin State. And we don't give a shit. Like, who really cares about, like, who's really getting hurt by all these illegal transactions other than the government not getting their cut?
Right. Well, that's what it's come. That's the only time the government cares, right? That's the only time anything gets done is when you take the government's money away, right?
Right. It's kind of perverse, the whole thing, right? You have an organization that is corrupt beyond belief, and I guess the only thing that you could say is, all right, what if it's a public institution funneling money into an athlete and tax dollars are going into that athlete? Then the people have a beef, right? They're getting stolen from. But for the most part, these are independent boosters that are fat, stacked with cash that just want to see their team win. So
right, or lucrative shoe companies that are paying agents to bribe coaches to influence players to sign with certain shoe companies, and that's where the FBI got involved. That, and then also, the prostitution, which is apparently it's illegal in Kentucky.
It's illegal in Kentucky, but totally legal on YouTube and and when it comes to sponsors. So if you use my code SCORE5 in the FanDuel app, it's not illegal at all. We got 2 super chats come in here. Actually, it's a good one, a good segue here. Caleb Peyote, which is a great hallucinogenic, by the way. Hey guys, I just wanted to get re-recognized. Thanks, Caleb, for your $2 super chat. And then Don't Feed Phil. Once again, great to see you. Don't Feed Phil. I like. I'd like to say thank you for your continued super chats. Was the punishment of Louisville, was it too much, or was it the right thing? My understanding is that Louisville volunteered to vacate that championship, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't.
Well, they imposed a postseason ban on themselves, and then the NCAA came back with taking away their national championship, which Pitino and a lot of other boosters want them to fight. But I mean, I saw them win. Did you?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they won.
The athletes think they're the champion. Rick Pitino thinks he's the champion. They probably played a dirty Michigan team anyways. Like it's like I said to Brandon. Like if you get caught cheating on your girlfriend, you don't unfuck all those girls, right? You don't. They don't come off the record. So everyone believes that they're the champion. Just like USC won that championship in 2004. No one looks back and is like, oh yeah. It just didn't happen. Like freaking the NHL where they canceled a season, you know.
Right.
So
for sure.
But yeah, I just think it's more hypocrisy from the NCAA. Just in general, like, oh, this is our idea of punishing you. We're gonna make you take down your banner, even though you had a widespread prostitution ring going on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would call it a prostitution ring. But, yeah, I mean, they were trying to sneak hot chicks into the dorm and other areas where they could have sex with recruits so that they'd go to Louisville. I mean, it's pretty shady shit, but also like, not that outside the realm of realistic business practice either.
Well,
like, have you ever seen an episode of Mad Men? Like, that's how they did business in the 50s. Like, that's how textile production was, like, controlled.
Right. You look
at a bunch of dudes going out there on the town, cheating on their wives, getting prostitutes.
Right.
Smoking cigars.
Well, what is it? Bob Odenkirk from Mr. Show, he said, don't you know how the world works? Blowjobs. Right?
Exactly right.
Jordan Culberson, you should let me in on this conversation. I wish we had a way to eventually, guys that watch the stream, I want to make it so that you guys can call in like a real radio show. That would be awesome. But eventually we'll have it so that you guys can talk with us like in a sort of a caller environment. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. But thank you, Jordan, for your $5 super chat. And Anthony Moses, love the content on this channel. What's your opinion on the NFL trying to fix the catch rule? We're going to talk about that at the end of the show, okay? So we got to get through all of the other agenda. And Brandon's gone. Brandon is gone. Right when we get to the NFL portion of the stream. Okay. TJ, you there? Hello?
Yep. Are you there?
Yeah. Sorry. Anyways. So how is this scandal is going to affect a lot. There's going to be a lot of downstream effect from this scandal, particularly on the NBA, as they're going to look to change the rules again to let. I think they're going to get rid of the one and done, and it's going to be 18-year-olds in the NBA again. What do you think about that?
I don't know if they haven't officially decided that yet, have they?
No, I don't think anything's been finalized with that, but it's on the table. Is because every college coach is like, the one and done is stupid.
Well, yeah, right. The NBA has this rule that you have to be at least 19 to be in the league. And David Stern was always very adamant that was an NBA rule. But essentially the reason why they did it was because the players union asked them to. I mean, the players who are currently in the league want fewer players coming into the league, not more. So I think that, they'd have to get that past the players union, and I don't think that they will. They'd have to change it in the CBA since that's all collectively bargained. So even if they did change the rule, I think that the players union would have enough of a problem with it to where they would probably go back on it, just simply because there's just too much. There's too much money. Anytime there's that much money on the table, you're not going to get your way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I just think that I mean the one and done rule, just like if someone wants to pay you to play basketball, like no matter what your age is, you should be able to go to the league, right? Like LeBron, like what would a LeBron done? He was meant to play NBA basketball probably from the time he was 17, not 18. And this stupid rule prevents players from getting paid so that they can prop up an industry. That's the only reason it exists, is so that they can come at least get 1 year of exposure in college basketball. Like,
right.
It's insane.
So here's the other thing, too, is that if colleges paid athletes, that would actually incentivize them to stay in college longer because it's a safer play and they're already being compensated for their work. So I think that kind of solves itself if the NCAA does the right thing and decides to make that change, even though that won't solve the problem of getting players paid under the table. But at this point, anytime there's this much money involved in anything, look, the rules of the NBA or NFL or college athletics in general, the only reason they exist are for competitive equality and finances, money. Those are the only two reasons for rules in sports. And since paying athletes at this point is so rampant, it's not as though smaller schools do it. In fact, the schools that get popped for it most often are smaller schools. They're not big schools because they don't have to pay as much. Alabama doesn't have to pay because the opportunity value of that, the opportunity cost of going to Alabama is so great that you get a lot more out of it than if you go to, like, say, Kentucky. Kentucky has to pay for players. Auburn has to pay for players. Texas A&M has to pay for players. Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, they don't have to.
They don't have to, but
they don't. Not as much as other schools. In basketball, it's a little different, but in football, they are promising you get to go to the NFL if you play here, and it's pretty good if you're going to like Alabama or Ohio State. Those are direct pipelines to the league.
Yeah, but I think they still pay players. Come on. I mean, they still give them improper benefit. Like, they're like, look, man, I'm giving up $250,000 to not play at Kentucky. Like, you guys could make this a little sweeter, throw me a couple prostitutes, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They barter. Sure.
I mean, UCLA offered me 10 prostitutes. You could give me 5. Come on.
Yeah. Right. I just, that's the only reason why these rules exist in the National Football League or in the NBA is to protect the existing money.
That's
why the rule is probably not going to get changed because there's too much money at stake.
It's funny. I was thinking about this yesterday. Is like how many movies or shows are predicated upon impropriety in the NCAA? Like you have Blue Chips, He Got Game, like. Their entire plots are built around these scandals. Like no one still cares. Like they're just like, it's like a mafia show or like The Sopranos. Like, oh yeah, organized crime happens every day, and we're just not going to stop it. We just watch our shows. We're going to watch the NCAA tournament. All right, we got a couple super chats here. Taylor Gabriel is leaving Atlanta. Let me see what that's about here. They're going to be in free agency. I think he's a wide receiver. I don't know much about Taylor Gabriel, Jordan, but I'm sure he'll go on to be a star somewhere else. And then Before You Love Shine, $2. Kobe greater than symbol LeBron, greater than symbol Kwame. As for high school to the NBA. Oh, wait a minute. You're saying that Kobe Bryant made the leap from high school better than LeBron did? Is that what you're saying? Before Love Shine? I don't know, TJ. Can you agree with that?
No, I cannot.
Let's look up Kobe Bryant's stats his first year.
Kobe Bryant was like a backup. Like he came off the bench.
I think he only averaged like 8 points a game his first year. I want to say. Let's get some stats up here. Career numbers. And LeBron, no one can say that LeBron did not instantly impact the league because he just came in and started balling.
I think he averaged like 20 points a game his rookie season.
Yep, here it is.
LeBron.
Oh, what a guess right there. Look at that. 7.6 points a game in 71 games for Kobe Bryant. And I'm now to win the argument here. What was LeBron? Kobe was only 16 though from CLS. Kobe only 16 years old when he played in the NBA. I met Martin Luther the King. All right,
That's
what was
not bad.
LeBron's first year? He averaged.
I'm going to say it was like
20
20.4 or something, 21 something.
Yep, 20.9 points first year, 79 games played, averaged 40 minutes. Next year, averaged MVP numbers his entire career. LeBron has.
Right.
I actually met him. He's nice. He's not as big a jerk as you would think he is. He's very aware of who LeBron James is. Is Brandon gonna come back? I don't
know. I just got a message from him that says he can't hear anything. So I don't know.
He hasn't joined since the beginning. All right, he's out. It's just me and you, TJ. We can carry this show. Oh, there he is.
There he is. He's
my
back.
Gosh. All right, now we're not going to talk about anything but college curling. Brandon.
Are you done masturbating, Brandon?
By masturbating, you mean finishing a video and getting dinner ready for my wife? Then yes, TJ, I am done.
God, Brandon, have you not figured out how to just ignore everyone in your family? That is how you have to roll if you're going to be successful at doing nothing. So
no, but I care too much.
All right, Jordan Culberson. Wow, another $5, man. You want to get your point across, buddy. Thank you, by the way. Tennessee, UT, and Pittsburgh Steelers fans are one in the same. Complain after every loss. Urinating tree, which is not here. Do a video on my Vols. I will tell him to do a video on your Vols because I think they are a good Vol cow or lol cow. But yeah, I'd say UT fans are very similar to Steelers fans in the fact that they are utterly, what's the word? Delusional about their team. Anyways, all right, Brandon. Now that you're back, we can start talking about the NFL. We're talking about how the NCAA scandal does affect the NFL, and it will actually, in my opinion, TJ and Brandon, because you're going to see different rules too. I mean, yeah, it was a basketball scandal, but you're going to see different rules and rule sets when it comes to use of likenesses, selling of jerseys, etc. at the college level, and you might see, I don't know, players coming out earlier from college to the NFL because they want to get paid if there is more scrutiny or less.
I think college athletes should be paid more than professional athletes.
You think
Let's
so?
really shake things up. Really shake things up, guys.
In some ways, they are more valuable to an institution than they're given credit for. I mean, obviously they're not paid directly. Even under the table money funneling to them, it is still not enough to pay for what they're worth. Like Johnny Manziel was worth so much to Texas A&M football. It's ridiculous. Like even if he was given $2 million under the table, that's still not even close to what he was worth.
Honestly, I would rather they just stop paying the coaches, just because I would love to see how many coaches would leave their job immediately because they can't get money because the players aren't getting money anymore, so nobody gets any money. And then Nick Saban is just sitting there like, how the hell am I supposed to pay for this $5 million lake house?
And his boat that he loves going on the water with. Yeah, good.
What boat does he have?
No, Nick Saban, all he cares about is winning. He'll figure out a way to funnel that money to people. Anyways, $5 from Don't Feed Phil. Thoughts on Marcus Peters getting traded to the Los Angeles Rams? That's an interesting
Love
trade.
it.
Love
it.
You
yeah,
love
I think
it?
it was the dumbest thing Andy Reid has done that's not time management in the playoffs related. Like it is the most indefensible move of the offseason. The fact that the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't figure out a way to make it work with the most talented corner in the league and traded him away for a second-round pick is insane. That guy is the best. He's the most disruptive corner ever through the first 3 years of his career. He has more interceptions, more fumbles, more fumble recoveries, more strip sacks than any defensive player through his first 3 years in the league. Like, it's insane how good he is, and yet they can't deal with him being like opinionated and passionate and having to be proven. Like, he's going to ask why when you tell him where to go. And most players don't do that, but he does, and they don't want to answer that question, so they'll just trade him. Like, you're the one who blew an 18-point lead against the fucking Tennessee Titans in the playoffs. That's on you. You know, that wasn't Marcus Peters' fault. If he's mad about it, like, figure out a way to make him not mad. Don't trade him away for nothing.
Oh, if Marcus Peters was such a good corner, then how come he couldn't stop Marcus Mariota from catching his own passes and scoring touchdowns, TJ?
You damn right. I was going to play devil's advocate, but you made such a strong case for Mr. Peters. Like, I mean, yeah, he's 3 years into the league. He's only probably got, 4 or 5 left. Like, what's the shelf life on quality players in the NFL? Not long at all. So they got 3 years.
Now the Chiefs secondary has nobody, outside of Eric Berry and
Kendall Fuller.
That depends on how. They did get Fuller from the Alex Smith trade, right?
Yeah.
But he's a slot corner.
Barry's coming back from an injury, and Fuller is a slot corner, and so they have Amerson, Nelson. Are there 2 other corners now? So I mean, they're probably going to draft somebody. I would imagine they're going to draft a corner or 2, but that defense 2 years ago was very good, and now it's getting really old, and they are cutting ties with Derek Johnson and a few other players on that defensive line, and so a strength that team had is a giant question mark now, which, as a Broncos fan, I am happy about, especially depending on who the hell ends up, as the quarterback in Denver.
Kirk Cousins.
Which we still don't know.
No clue.
It's down to Case Keenum and Kirk Cousins, really. Come on, let's be realistic here. It's between those 2. So
maybe today all the hot talk is it's Ryan Tannehill.
Oh!
Basically every day you wake up, it's a different quarterback.
You might need to find him a good psychologist out there in Denver. You know any good ones for Ryan Tannehill?
I'll get licensed, and then I'll fix him up.
Are you gonna stroke his balls before the game, like groom his balls, all nice, so that they'll be proper for him to throw passes? I hear he's really sensitive.
Perna's gonna go to ball cosmetology school to learn how to appropriately fashion the balls.
That's right.
Whoever
Hit him like
Denver.
speed bag. That's right. That's right, Tannehill. Let's go. All right.
Nutrition's cheap.
Let's talk about the NFL Combine. So, I love the Combine. I think it's weird, but for some reason, it's always interesting just to watch athletes do semi-not athletic things, but also kind of athletic things. I don't know.
Did it start today?
I think so.
I haven't watched any of it yet because TJ and I were making a stupid video, and I haven't even turned the TV on to see if anybody was running fast 40s or cone drills or jumping high or whatever the hell they start with. What do they start with? Linemen?
I think they do, because even the NFL Combine is a ratings grab. I mean, they're like, all right, let's get the fat guys out. It's like a bar at night. It's like, all right, we're gonna put the fat chicks out here, and then if you just wait, they've got to come a little bit earlier, And then if you wait and get drunker, then the alpha chicks will come in, and when it's midnight, you'll end up taking one of these fat chicks home. That's how it works.
I think all you need to know about the Combine is that the most memorable moment of the Combine, maybe since it's been on television, definitely since it's been on the NFL Network, is when Chris Jones was running the 3-cone drill and his dick just fell out of his pants. It was just flopping around for a solid 3 seconds on screen.
I mean, that's how I walk around. But I mean,
all doing 3-cone drills at your house.
Yeah, I'm just like with my dick out. Like I'm just like, all right, let me see if I can if I can do a rapid turn. Who is it? Chris Jones? Hold on, we gotta watch this. Chris Jones 3-cone drill.
I mean, it makes Janet Jackson's nip slip look,
here it
like
is.
a Disney
First of
movie.
all, he's wearing Spanx. He's wearing male Spanx. And hold on, let's full screen this bad boy right here. You guys like my new studio setup? Oh no, it's just his 40. Oh, but his dick just definitely fell out, and now he's covering it. How does it come out while you're running like that? Ooh. That's something us semi-white guys. Well, I'm half white. Us white guys will never experience. Right there is our junk coming out while we run. Because you've got a pendulum-sized penis attached to your freaking junk, which is so huge that the momentum caused by you running causes it to fall out.
There was a lot of dong on ground right there.
All right. Thanks.
I wonder if he got any AstroTurf burn on his dick from that.
Oh, yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah.
I think I could run a full 40 with my dick out and nobody would notice.
I think that's probably the only excuse you could ever give your wife for honey, number one, you would never turn it down, but number two would be like, hey, look, I got turf burn on my dick. Give me 10
on
minutes.
IR, sorry.
Right. That's something that will never be uttered in my house. I could be in crutches and I'd be like, yep, let's go, honey. We're good. Turf burn.
You're playing hurt. It's
right.
All right. You get back on the field.
All right, put some aloe on that thing and let's go. All right. Caleb Pitio, I'm going to not know how to say this game. After the Combine, you should make a mock draft vid. Oh, well, eventually what I want to do is a mock draft. And TJ and I have kind of talked about this where you just make fun of the draft, especially Mel Kiper. The biggest Huckleberg in all of ESPN, to me. I don't think that he should have a job, but he still does.
I think a couple years ago I did a mock draft where I basically just guessed on the entire first round and said I'll get as many right as most of the people, and I think the average correct amount of picks was 6 or 7, I think, in the first round, and I had 7. I got 7 right by doing almost no research.
Right, you're as good as an expert is, because after I think the percentages are after the first 3 picks, I think it's a 90% fail rate of experts picking.
It's insane.
Right, because you don't know how are you going to know what an organization is? There's 3 chains of events there that happen. Each time a player gets picked, every scenario that you thought would happen changes, right? So how are you going to know what's going to happen by the 4th or 5th pick? It's ridiculous.
And, trades fuck everything up. Guys like Laramie Tunzel having videos of them taking bong rips out of gas masks on draft day fuck things up.
Yeah. That was still the most insane moment I've ever seen in the draft.
That was the coolest... Yeah, the coolest draft day spoiler that ever happened.
While the draft is going on, this uncle of Laramie Tunsil's is just putting him on blast on Instagram. And the Dolphin, like, no one knows what to do. Everybody is just insanely terrified while it's happening. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with...
You guys see...
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I lost the picture for
there.
a second. Yeah, dude, I've always wanted to take a gas mask and just take a bong rip right to the face and then get drafted into the NFL right afterwards.
Well, what's so crazy is that was only like 2 or 3 years ago, and then this year they're like, you know, hey, if you fail your test, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know, you want to get high before the draft. As long as you can play left tackle in this league, we love you. Go out there and do a great job, Laramie. All right, the other thing I love about the 40, or the combine, I'm sorry, is fat guys running. And it's amazing how these athletes are so athletic, though. Like, I've seen the fat guys run like...
They can move.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's it. 405-pound tight end versus Rich Eisen. I think Rich Eisen's best time is like 6'7", okay? That's right. And
I think he broke the 6-second mark one year.
He got into the fives? That's an impressive 40
like
for an old man.
Got 5'9" something.
Let's see. Hold on.
Think.
All right. So this 405-pound man, watch. I don't know if you can see it. This huge tight end from Baylor. He runs the 40 in 5.48, and Rich Eisen in 5.94. So this guy's 405 pounds, and he can still... I don't think I could do a 6'5", 40 right now without being on ice for 4 weeks either. And this dude is running a freaking 5...
There's nothing scarier than a 400-pound man who can probably outrun you.
I thought you were just going to end it right at 405-pound man. Just...
Oh, because your one defense against a guy like that in a physical confrontation is fleeing. And if that's taken away, you're screwed.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bear model. I'm going to take a pizza and just throw it in away from me and then run away from the pizza, and hopefully, like The Walking Dead, he just goes for the pizza.
Wait! I thought the way to get a bear to go away was to pretend that you're bigger than it, because animals don't understand how large they are. But with a 405-pound man, who's faster than you, your only hope is that he doesn't know how large he is, and you can scare him away by making him big.
I think Chris Jones would just whap him in the face with his dick. That's what would happen. Just like, bam, take that, bear. That's right. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the NFL Network should have like a montage of the big men running in like slow motion with really nice music underneath it.
Their huge man boobs like shaking as they run, just...
Yeah, the super slow-mo camera, some really like romantic, cheesy music underneath it. Like, I would tune in for that.
Yeah, Barbara Streisand, maybe, you know. All right, Sean Z, these are two great super chats back to back, by the way. Do you think the Jets will get Cousins? Absolutely. I think the Jets get Cousins. I think he wants to be there. I think he's mentioned it a couple times. There's a lot of momentum about it. Sorry, Brandon. I don't think he's coming to the Broncos. And David Benjamin, will the New York Giants pick a QB in the first round? I don't think they do so. I think they address more problems. I think they don't address the QB position until Eli has told them for sure that either next year or the year after that is his last year. So
I think Cousins has a better chance of ending up in Minnesota than with the New York Jets.
Okay, so if Cousins goes to the Vikings, how does that change their Super Bowl odds?
They become the prohibitive favorites from the NFC.
Over the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to be good.
We don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, that's the question. And the Eagles have some cap issues right now, I believe.
I think they'll. I mean, I'm hoping that they suck and they burn like their city has, but I think they'll be pretty decent next year. I'm scared of them. I hate it. Just like they hated the Giants after 2008, and the next year they were 12-4, and then Cheddar Bob shot himself. That's bad. Anyways, we're getting close on. We got about 5-10 more minutes to talk. NFL rule changes regarding catches. So I said I would keep it to 45 minutes. We're right at 40 minutes right now.
Ooh.
I know.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know TJ saw this story, but did you see the story about the baseball coach from Texas Wesleyan University who denied the Colorado recruit a recruitment opportunity because weed is legal in the state of Colorado, and they say too many recruits fail their drug test from Colorado?
Even though it's legal.
Yes, he said they were not going to recruit him because weed is legal in the state of Colorado. It was basically what it boiled down to.
Well, yeah, but see the big thing in the real big like fireball in that email was, you can thank your liberal politicians for not being able to go to our school.
This is exactly how it reads. Thanks for the interest in our program. Unfortunately, we are not recruiting players from the state of Colorado. In the past, players have had trouble passing our drug test. We have made a decision to not take a chance on student athletes from your state. You can thank your liberal politicians. Best of luck wherever you decide to play.
So first of all, I don't
care. Former
baseball
baseball player Mike Jeffcoat.
All right. First of all, I don't know who's drug testing in college, right? Like, you'd have to kick every kid off of campus if there's actual drug testing. Second of all, weed is legal in the state, so dude can get high as he wants. And number three, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's with the political shot at the end? I mean, Republicans get high too.
Dude, this coach is fucked right now, I would assume.
Since when?
That's the video I was making.
Oh, well, great. Good on you. Awesome. That sounds delectable. I'll be sure to be first comment on my note squad when I get that.
I think my comment on Twitter on that was something to the effect of thinking every person in Colorado smokes weed is the same as thinking every person in Texas owns a gun. That's probably a bad example and a bad state to use that example with, but those are my thoughts.
Every person in Texas does own a gun, though.
Right. That's why it's a bad example.
Yeah, I know. It's like saying water's wet. All right, so these catch rules. All right. So basically what I'm hearing on the catch rule is, and nothing's been finalized or issued, is that they're removing the portion about going to the ground from the catch rule, and it's going to basically make the Dez Bryant catch, the Calvin Johnson catch, the Jesse James catch, all valid catches next year. And so instead of sticking to their guns, the NFL is now creating an even bigger shitstorm by changing the rule to make it simpler, is my opinion.
I think it's the right move, though.
I'll have to see it in action first, right? I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know how they're going to apply it. This basically just gives them more leeway to do what they want and use common sense, right? That's basically it.
Oh, but common sense has no place in the NFL.
That's true.
But no, I think what they'll say is that, hey, look, catch the ball, possession, 2 feet, no matter what happens, that's a catch. I think that's how they'll edit it. No, they're just going to say, look, you don't need to complete the process. You secure the ball and get 2 feet down. That's it. And then you're just going to have these toe touch catches where the guy catches it, gets 2 feet in, the ball gets knocked out of his hands, and they're like, nope, that's a catch. That's it. Like, how are you going to play defense?
You're going to intercept the ball.
That's the way you play defense, is by intercepting the ball. All right,
that's what a coach would say. You just got to get in there and make a play. No excuses. Refs don't lose games. We lose games.
That's right. I saw you run with your dick out. That's why I drafted you. Now slap some people in the face with that giant thing.
I saw you in your underwear. You know why I drafted you.
It was the upside potential. You still haven't filled out. If your body would proportionally match that thing, it'd be like 8 feet tall. All right, Spencer Young.
I think his dick is strong enough to actually like reach up like an elephant trunk and then like grab the ball out of the ball carrier's hands and just rip it out. So like
just put it
dick-related forced fumbles. That's what I'm looking for.
He can do a push-up without having his feet or hands touch the ground.
Scoop and score, man. Scoop and score.
You know what? I bet you he could play golf without using a club. He could just hit back and then just whap. All right, from Spencer Young, $10, buddy. Wow, thank you, Spencer. Minnesota Vikings are throwing everything they have at Kirk Cousins. Thoughts? Is that true? I don't know. Where are we going there with? I mean, if they're throwing everything at Cousins, then I don't know. Then
Cousins would be stupid not to go to Minnesota if he really wants to win.
They are as Super Bowl ready as the Broncos
go to the Jets
were when they got Manning.
If he wants to be loved by a great fan base, then he'll come to Denver.
Yeah.
He's not coming to Denver, Brandon. He's not. There's no way. They can't afford him. And their team's not as good. So Minnesota has more money and a better team, and I'm pretty sure a better head coach and a better general manager. So,
watch it on the general manager, fuckwad.
But Denver
everything
has
else
lead.
he said is accurate.
I'm not entirely sure John Elway knows what he's doing. I think he may have just been like the luckiest.
How dare you blaspheme the name of John Elway?
You're right. Go finish your thought.
My thought. I just wanted to get a rise out of you. That's really all I was going for. I just wanted to.
You're trying to trigger him.
Defending blindly, John Elway.
Saying
all
he's lucky.
We're right at 47 minutes. Fly Latore, I see you there. This show we're not gonna let the peanut gallery jump in the pool. Sorry about that. We'll do that next week when Tree comes back. I wanted to keep it shorter this time, just so that we could have fun. I've got some new content coming out after this. I do want to do TJ a solid and talk about Phantom real quick on Facebook. Which, TJ, if you could throw a link in the chat. I don't know if you're in front of a computer for Watch Phantom.
Yeah.
Actually, throw it in the chat. That is a wonderful platform for you to catch more sports videos from more people other than me, myself, Brandon, and even you get to see TJ's handsome face up there. Gosh, Brandon, doesn't it hurt to be around someone that's so handsome every day, and then you have to look at your face in the mirror?
No, because I live in a world where I'm delusional enough to think I'm the best looking man in the room at all times.
You know what I use as a gauge for that is my wife. Like, she is the best looking woman in the room all the time, even though somehow I tricked her into marrying me. I think she was...
It's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, she was drunk. I think she was like, "Will you carry me?" is what she was trying to say. And then...
I think deceit is the cornerstone of any good marriage. So
right, and alcohol.
You're off to a good start.
Right. But
deceit and alcohol.
Right. Brandon, what is your opinion on the Black China sex tape from Luke Kelly, by the way?
Oh yeah, we did a whole thing about that.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
We really didn't though, Brandon. Like, we never really got around to your analysis of the Black China sex tape. In fact, you talked more about the two-handed greatsword than Black China.
Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, TJ pointed out that he thought the lack of effort by Black China was disturbing, but I read an article that says it takes two to tango, and really it's up to the man to put as much effort into a blowjob as it is to the woman. So I think there might be some fairness in that evaluation.
What's effort in that situation?
You gotta try with moving around your hips.
I predicate that by just putting my hands together and saying thank you so much. Thank you. Just please, thank you. Black China here in this picture, she looks like she should be in a Wallace and Gromit movie. Like, she looks completely made out of clay. Oh my gosh. Scary.
She does.
All right. Well, thank you, fellas, for jumping on, even though Tree's sorry ass couldn't be here. I don't know, what a joke. And I about half the viewers. But this was fun. God damn it. We can have fun without him. And Brandon, everyone subscribe to That's Good Sports.
That's Good Sports.
Well. That's right. And hopefully,
check out the weed video I just did.
Hopefully someday I'll be able to come out to Denver and get in studio with you guys and just get baked. I won't actually be in front of the computer, but I'll just get baked. So,
you can do that.
You got it. All right, I'm 5 Points Vids, and new content is dropping in about 5 minutes, and you made it to the end of the stream. Thank you, everyone.